Hey everyone, welcome back to the Shave channel. This is Scott Huggins, and today I wanted to give away a plugin that I wrote. What it does is it stores and recalls groups of sequences that have current cues playing back based by tags, and it stores them into a macro that can be later executed to go back and recall any cues and sequences that were playing back when we started or when we stored it. So first you got to do is there's a link below. Go grab the plugin, put it into your show file, and then we want to create a macro here. So this is the store macro that I've created. And in this macro, we want to create one line, and it's going to call our plugin, which is the Shave Store Recall plugin. And then in the second parameter inside of these parentheses, delimited by a comma, super important, we're going to get past it two parameters. The first one is the name of the macro that is going to be created that's going to later recall what we store here. And then the second one is the tag that we're going to look for when we create this. Now, before I run this, I want to tell you that on all of these settings here that run through this show file, here's my temps, like that's a white, right? That's playing back on this here. And when I create a aqua here, that temp goes to an aqua. So that is a sequence. And the matrix that are also assigned to this particular playback are also a sequence. And what I've done here is I want to be able to store and recall groups of sequences through all of these playbacks. And the way I've done this, right, the way it's going to work is we have a tag assigned. Oh goodness, right click, buddy. We have a tag assigned to this sequence here, right? So that's the shave setter tag, and that's the same tag that I'm looking for in my macro here. It's shave setter. So everything with the shave setter tag is going to get stored into this new macro when I run this macro. So let's run this macro that's going to create the recall macro. So what's happened first is it has created some necessary resources for itself. So it's created a special tag that's going to be used to recall and change appearances, right? So it's created these three appearances. I would assume that we'd want to store the this scene store appearance to the first storing macro. So let's do that now. We'll just create something here. Create a red kind of macro. And we're just going to assign that, right? This we'll have to do manually. We'll store that right there. Now the next two is like what is active and what is just a recall button. So this is a recall button, and if we come in here and we create our new recall button, let's do this thing here because it's kind of a play button, and we'll give it a color, a little bit of color here. So that's going to play it back. And then on the active one, right, this is the recall active. Let's give it the same type of color, but I want to create it much brighter. So what it's going to do is it's going to, if we press this, and it recalls everything that it stored, it's going to become the active scene. So to create two stores and two scenes to recall, let's just simply copy this. Copy, boom, right? And then we're going to edit this to become a second recall, right? So what we need to edit here is just the name in that first parameter. So let's create a second one. And then when we run this macro, we're going to create the second store. It doesn't need to recreate all of these other resources because the plugin is checked for those already. So this is the active one. And now when we recall two, it's going to become the active one. So the plugin's going to build in this appearance change for you. So let's create just one more for our example here. So we have three. And then we can kind of demonstrate how this ought to work. So we'll run 3. Now 3 is active. So we can recall scenes 1, 2, or 3. And because this is already built in, when we assign macros 3 through 5 here, right? Now when we're playing back, this is visually appealing, right? And let me let's just edit this a little bit and make it bigger so we can all see. No, I'm not going to do that. But so if I come over here and we'll just show it working. If I want to create these all to be yellow, and we're going to keep those matrix that are assigned below. And this could be set with the master that I have built in, which is just a sequence that changes these 4 to become all yellow, right? But I want to store that on 1, right? We'll come over here. We'll create an R, red, green, and blue for the second. We'll go cyan, I guess, and maybe no color. And we'll store that on 2. And then if we want to do something different, let's do magentas and blues alternating or something. We could store that on 3. So the way this looks is if I call 3, it doesn't appear to do anything. Those all are just magenta and blue. But if I recall 1, you're going to see that these have all moved back to yellow, right? The way they were when we stored that. So just by applying that tag to anything through your show file, you can use this to get really creative to start recalling sequences back. And this could be as simple as if you're busking and you want to create a look that's just like a home base to return to. Here I don't have to, I could also be like, well, this is storing all of these settings for all of these playbacks. Because the way the tags work is I could, and it recalls these appearance by their tag, right? Because it's created a special tag for this, the tag that you're using, right? So I have the shave setter tag applied, and it's creating a secondary tag to control the appearances. So you could create multiple groups of this within your show file by using different tag names in your store settings and then applying different tags. You know, more concisely, I could tie just a particular tag, just my colors, and have just a color save and restore kind of thing. And I think you could use this through your show file to recall any time that getting a sequence back, or like knowing what a sequence was now and coming back to it in any other time is where this plays useful. So download it, links below, and I hope you all enjoy. We will see you there.